La gouvernance est au cœur des préoccupations de nombreuses organisations que nous rencontrons chez ToolBox. Que ce soit les membres du conseil d'administration, de l'assemblée générale ou les équipes opérationnelles, tous et toutes ont un rôle clé à jouer dans le processus de gouvernance. Chez ToolBox, nous sommes convaincus que c'est par une bonne collaboration et une connexion bienveillante entre les personnes que l'organisation peut révéler son plein potentiel. En ce début d'année, nous vous proposons un podcast thématique en 4 épisodes autour de ce sujet passionnant qu'est la gouvernance. Bonne écoute à tous!
Aujourd'hui, nous recevons Hilde Helsen, présidente du conseil d'administration de ToolBox depuis 2014. Et comme des vrais Belges, on va faire l'interview en anglais. Hilde, hello.
Hello, Catherine. Hello.
How do you try to make a difference as a chairperson?
Well, when I observe a board or a member of a board, I look at this board through the 4 what I call systemic lenses. So the first thing I check is the purpose. Are all of us at the board aligned on the purpose of the organization? Or in my words, on the why? The second lens I look to, it's about order and occupying place. Is everyone clear what his or her role is? Is that a best fit with their personality, with their ambitions? And does everybody take up that role? The third one is about connection and belonging. How does everybody feel? Do they feel at ease, secure, safe, at their best? And what does it take to be part of that specific board? And the fourth one, it's about vitality, the energy in the system. Is there a balance between giving and taking? Does it bring joy to each and everyone to be member of the board? Then when you ask me specifically what I do as a chairperson, then of course as a board you are responsible for all these 4 elements. As a chairperson, I find that my responsibility is certainly on the connection and belonging and the vitality, so the energy. So what do I mean in practice? My responsibility, I find, is about the human connections inside the board, strong human connection between the board members and between the board members and the operational team. And vitality is for me the engine to be very aware and observe the well-being and engagement of all the ones involved, to be attentive to the other voices, to ensure that we bring the outside world in.
Okay, thank you. What does the ideal board of directors look like?
Well, that's a good question. And for me, ideal is ideal for that moment in the life cycle of an organization. At which strategic project is the organization working during that period? So I say with that also that I believe that board compositions need to change over time. So the first thing that you look for is the best fit at that moment in time. First and foremost, it's about the purpose of the organization needs to be coinciding with one of the dreams, of the ambitions of the board members on a personal level. How is being a member of that specific board for each of your board members a realization of one of their dreams? Secondly, they need to be 100% fit with the values of the organization. Once you have that checked, then you have to define, of course, in link with your strategic project, which are the competencies that you need at that moment in time. And then for me, the work begins. You have to onboard every single one of them, and that you have to do every single time a new board member joins you. You have to be clear and explicit and have an organized onboarding process so that all your human connections are built, your knowledge and history is shared, and you get from these new board members new questions, new ideas. You listen to them and you embrace them.
Thanks, Hilde, for this answer. What does a good chairperson do?
Good question, Catherine. Not such an easy one. but let's just mention 3 elements, 3 tasks, roles I find a good chairperson should take up. The first is be the guardian angel of the purpose of the organization. And with purpose, I mean the legacy in the long run your organization wants to have. I think as a chairperson, you are the guardian angel of that one. The second one is to foster deep human connections at the board level with the outside world. Be the representative of your organization. Be very proud of being the chairperson of that organization. And the third one, I find it essential that there is in good governance a good working relationship with the director of the organization, and that of course you define the way you're going to do that, and that's transparent, clear, and open. So if I have to name 3, these 3 I would name.
And what is the best thing you have experienced as a chairperson?
So many things, of course. The first thing, maybe even when I was invited to be presented as a chairperson, I was really, really proud that the board at that time asked me to become their chairperson. So that may be the first thing I have to share. And then more from recent times, I was extremely impressed and happy by the way we acted during the pandemic times, and certainly completely at the beginning when everything was extremely unknown, uncertain, how we found our way, how we came even closer together, how we immediately resorted to all the digital processes, and how we came in to help each other and to help the organization and all our community. That's certainly one thing. I'm also amazed if I look of all these years that we have been doing it, how that we have kept challenging ourselves. And then very concretely that when we go in the process of recruiting new board members, that we meet so many very engaged candidates. And it's really like a gift, a gratefulness about all this engagement and for the selected persons to fully go for their role in the board.
In this context of COVID, what do you consider the new normal in boardrooms?
It's a really interesting question, Catherine, and I would answer these COVID times have shed a light on the operations and the functioning of boards. So I would like the new normal to be that in every single boardroom, we think about the things that we shared here in this podcast about how does everybody see his role, her role, how is dynamic between the board members, how are the human connections, how they deep, are they connected, is it all related to the purpose of the organization? So that would be my wish, that COVID times put the light on that one, and that we are getting even stronger in, apart from the processes, which of course is also good governance, is about the people involved, their engagement and their connections.
Thank you, Hilde, to answer the specific questions on how you see the role of a chairperson in our podcast series on good governance.
Thank you, Catherine.
À bientôt pour le prochain podcast de ToolBox. Si vous avez aimé, abonnez-vous à notre chaîne YouTube ou Spotify et parlez-en autour de vous.